Okay, I'll just wait for people to come. Mm. Hi everyone. Okay. Um, we're 10 days away from the end of the yeah. Okay. We're 10 days away from the end of our extension of the enhanced community quarantine, and I just like to check up on you guys and how you are doing. I mean, it's been a tough time for everyone, so I hope that you guys are still safe at home and, trying to cope up with the difficult emotions that we're going through during this pandemic. Okay. Before I start, I'd also like to thank Sir Arvin Cabachete and Arvin Basihan for inviting me to host this live chat tonight at Entertainment News Portal. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk with your viewers and audience. Okay. Um, since there are already people watching, I'm going to introduce myself now. So I'm Carina Cariño, Binibining 25, from the province that aims to spread love and not the virus, the province of La Union. Hi, Ems. Later on the latter part of this live chat, I hope to answer your questions, okay? But first, I'd like to talk about some safety reminders because of this pandemic, ways to cope up, and of course, our donation drive for Binibining Pilipinas. Okay, so my advocacy is on the economic empowerment of single moms, and I just like to clarify that since there are people who are asking, and of course, someday I'd like to be a champion for women's rights. Now, thank you. I'll scroll up later, so I'll get to answer your questions in a while. So, for some safety reminders during this pandemic, I divided these into two. But so we have the physical reminders, like washing your hands, and of course, some online safety reminders since everyone's on the internet right now, since we're all stuck in this together. So, for the physical reminders, I've already gotten some reminders from the American Red Cross, and I think everyone knows it, but I'll just briefly discuss it. So, first, of course, is to wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth when you're outside. Always wear a face mask whenever you're going outside. And third is, of course, to clean and disinfect always. Next, for some safety reminders in staying safe online, I've gotten some tips from Amnesty International, which is a human rights organization. So, first is to update your phone, your computer, and your application since there may be bugs that are prone for your data to be compromised. Next is to think before you click because, of course, I understand we have friends who send bogus links or links to news articles or voting for pageants that aren't really, right now live because everything's canceled or postponed for now. So just make sure to think before you click. Third is to protect your data. I mean, we have the time to review your privacy settings in all your accounts. So just make sure that, you limit what you want others to see. Try to, minimize what data would you like to be exposed. Next is to connect to vid chats safely. I mean, there's an issue about Zoom recently, and I've been using Zoom for my trainings. So far, I'm kind of unsure on whether to continue using it. So I prefer vid chats on WhatsApp, Viber, or other encrypted, platforms. Next is to do a digital spring cleaning. So I removed some accounts that I no longer use anymore. I mean, back in high school, I've used Tumblr, YouTube, some other websites that right now, I don't really use, and I don't like my data being exposed there. So I just, screen them and take them down already. So that's digital spring cleaning. And last is to navigate through the infodemic. Right now, during this pandemic, we're not just fighting for our lives because of the disease, but we're also fighting fake news since it's really endemic already. What we have to do is to make sure that what we share is true and are actual facts. Okay. As for your questions, guys, I'd like to answer those later during the latter part of this live chat so that we can continue with the flow. So next, I'd like to remind you also why it's important to stay at home, because we're practicing social distancing, and researchers have already told us that this is one of the ways that we can reduce the number of casualties or preventing, the spread of the disease. There are other ways, like such as herd immunity. I mean, if you guys are watching the TED Talks, there are other ways, but this is the way. This way, I mean, social distancing is one of the ways that we can reduce the number of casualties by just doing our part in staying at home. But remember, social distancing does not equate to really isolating yourself socially to other people, because during these trying times, it's most important to stay connected to those that we love. Okay? Oh my gosh, I can see some questions that I'd like to answer, but I'll still go with the flow, okay? Next, what activities have I been doing during this quarantine? So, I wouldn't say that they're productive activities. I mean, during this whole quarantine, I've been through a roller coaster of difficult emotions. Since, we haven't encountered this, I was still busy preparing for the pageant with my friends, and it feels so, it's like your life was going through this path, but then things had to, hit pause for a while. And I think it's kind of difficult to cope up with. But then again, I'm thankful for social media and technology, since I get to be connected with people who I love, such as my family and friends. Okay. Now, some activities that I've been doing, I've been playing the piano, building up my craft. If you guys are interested in, drawing, I'd encourage you guys to just do it and write, paint, just pursue whatever it is that's on your mind that you think you wouldn't be able to pursue after this quarantine. Next would be, okay, I'm going through this faster already. I would like to plug for our official donation drive. So Binibining Pilipinas, together with Araneta City and the J. Amado Araneta Foundation, has launched the hashtag Together We Heal donation drive. So we're asking you guys to donate at least 350 pesos for food packs that would be sent to indigent families around Metro Manila. So those food packs will contain the following: 2 kilos of rice, 7 canned goods, and 5 noodles. Right now, if you guys are interested in helping us out, the link is on my bio on my social media account. So I will tell you guys that later. Now, as for the question on updates regarding the pageant, so as of now, we don't have updates. So I hope you guys stay tuned on announcements when Binibini will resume. Okay, now I can answer all of your questions. I'm going to scroll up. Okay. Hi Harris, hi Ens, hi Ping. Okay. Hi Em, so okay, Ping, what makes you positive in this corona days? I think what makes me positive is that knowing we can all get through this together as long as we're being disciplined, following the instructions given to us by our frontliners, and knowing that after this we have to strive to become better because normal wasn't working anymore. So I hope that you continue to have that mindset of reflecting what we did that went wrong, and then trying to move forward by knowing what else we can do better to avoid this kind of situation again. Thank you. Hi, Ems. Okay. Hi, Harris. I am 5'7". Okay. Biggest challenge for you as a candidate of Binibini in this time of uncertainty? Honestly, right now I'm really thinking about my team, since they've really put in so much effort and so much care, imparted so much training in honing me in honing myself to compete. And I think it's kind of difficult to think about what's going to happen next. I mean, a lot of major events have been postponed until further notice, but then for me, I think it's kind of difficult to weigh in, since I'm also thinking about the public's well-being after this, since mass gatherings would certainly be difficult to organize. Okay. Thanks for that question, Kim. Okay. Hi, Nico. Thank you so much. How's the situation of COVID-19 in La Union, and what are you currently doing to reduce the number of cases? I wouldn't lie if I said that I'm just staying at home, and I think that's the least that I can do. But I haven't been vocal about it on social media, but I've also been trying to help out people who are close to me, especially with my sisters in Binibini. We're trying to help out people who are close to us in Araneta to get financial assistance as of the moment. I haven't been posting much, since I think it's something that we can pitch in and then later on reach out to other girls who are close to the same people. I can't really give out much information right now. As for the situation of COVID-19 in La Union, I've been monitoring the numbers, and I've been seeing the decrease, since a lot of places or municipalities have been really strictly reinforcing the need to only go out when okay, it's connected. They've been stressing out that you only need to go out when you need to buy essential items or when there's a need. So that's what I really like about LU, especially I've been seeing the market schedule. So what they do is, per barangay, they have allotted some days on going to the market, especially those who are, have positive cases already. And I would like to also commend the efforts of the provincial government of La Union and its local units for trying to keep the morale up. What we do in LU for the past days in quarantine, we had several contests for those who are staying at home. So there's the Plants versus COVID, which was more of a program to give seedlings to households so that they can plant their own, food. And then next is the Pasyal sa Bahay vlogging contest. So people were really active in participating in that contest, since it's more on trying to boost the morale and trying to be creative, and the typical Filipino spirit of being happy despite the trials that we are facing right now. And then there's another one, but it was more of having a message for the frontliners, especially the people who are in the medical field. It was like a salute to all the frontliners contest, and I really appreciate that everyone was really trying to pitch their own um or do their own part during the whole contest hullabaloo. So yeah, hullabaloo again. Okay, hi Sean. So other than spreading awareness about and information about COVID-19, what else can you do as a public figure? So as a public figure, I have the audience to reach out to people, and I think that it's also part of my responsibility to amplify donation drives so that their reach would be, farther. And aside from that, I've been giving out honest, you know, opinions about dealing with this, with your emotions during this pandemic, since I don't want to be put in a pedestal that's kind of perfect and, really put up. I mean, I'm just like everyone else. I have difficult emotions. I'm going through anxiety, especially during these times. So I'd like to remind people that it's okay how you guys cope up, whether it's through TikTok or by baking or posting memes. But what matters most is that you're taking good care of yourself. And I think that's the most important thing that you have to do right now. Not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Thanks for that question, Sean. Next, hi Kim Eric from San Juan, La Union. Hi Arvin, I'd like to win the Miss International crown. And my binibining besties would be Patricia Babista and Hannah Arnold. And they're my nuggets. My national costume really features the surfing capital of the North, La Union. That's the only thing that I can tell you guys right now. But it's big. Hi, Dave. Okay. Oops, sorry. Hi, Pex. Yes. I was supposed to continue my studies before. I was just going to take the sim, then be released to LU because that's where the, airport is for my school. But then I had to postpone for a while since I wanted to pursue my dream of becoming a binibini. But I did try the simulator once. Thanks to my instructors for helping me. Okay. Hi Dale. During this time of the pandemic, as a beauty queen, which is more important to you, privacy or relevance? Why? Thank you for that really important question. I'm a private person, but I strive to use my relevance as a public figure through, sharing important information. I try to keep private the things that, I'm going through, but at the same time, trying to convey them in a message that, that's hoping that other people can get it too. Like, for example, recently, I was really feeling down because, hashtag pandemic. And what I felt really resonated with the words that the provincial government of La Union posted, which were, you have to have the 3 C's, which is you have to have compassion, care, and cooperation during this pandemic. And I felt that it was really important, an important message to convey to others. So I shared that. And, I really don't strive to be super relevant na giggle, but as much as possible, I'd like to let my followers and fans know that just like them, I do feel the same feelings, and I'm human. So yeah, thank you. Okay. Hi Tata. Yes, kain na. Mangantan. Wow. Okay. We live in a time where cancel culture is prevalent. How do you think we should deal with that? Well, it's cancelled culture is really difficult to deal with since people would automatically side with things that they feel is right, or once the person is cancelled, then they don't really have much of an option to redeem themselves. But I think what we have to practice here is empathy. I mean, you wouldn't want to be cancelled for one thing, right? Unless, of course, what you did was gravely wrong. But what matters the most here is that we remember that the people we're canceling are just people like us. They have feelings too. It's important to empathize with what they're going through. Maybe there's something wrong that needs to be corrected, especially trying to take it out on social media when you don't really hear both sides of the story, right? And what's important as well is to know that the person that we cancel right now won't be the same person after. The mob mentality in social media is so bad that people don't really have the option to redeem themselves, and I think that's what's kind of sad. So that's how we deal with it. We just remember to empathize with the person, try to have a third, an outer view without making our feelings giggle towards it, and try to weigh in if let's give this person a second chance. I've been seeing well, on that note, I've been seeing posts regarding celebrities being canceled out because they've been standing for these people, and I do get that there's some kind of message that needs to be addressed with that, but we also have to think beyond that what they really stand for. I mean, we have differences, political differences, other kinds of preferences, but at the end of the day, they're still people. What matters is that, they're not supporting the option for death or like something gravely bad. Do you get what I mean? Okay. Hi Dave. Yes, I think during this second week of quarantine, my designers messaged me regarding my gowns, and I'm really excited to see their creations because I love them so much. Okay. Hi Antoinette. Hello po. Hi Dave. I got my favorite designer from Mandaluyong because I've been modeling his works, avant-garde works, for the past year. Hi, Kim Eric Tatunay. I really like your questions. I think this is my first or second live to have really, interesting questions. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Social media has allowed us to be informed and updated about this pandemic, but it has also made us susceptible to fake news and mental anxiety. Do you feel that social media is ultimately a positive or negative? Ultimately, I believe that social media is positive since it brings us all together. Without it, we'd have problems in communicating with one another. I think it's more on how we deal with the information that gets passed out, how we also deal with our emotions in trying to receive the news or the message that's being sent out. So yeah, it's always going to be positive for social media. Hi Lizelle! What is your favorite event in Binibining Pilipinas? My favorite event would be that day we went to Arden Island with the Smile Train kids. I've always been interested in events with kids, or just hanging out with my Binibining sisters in a museum, and I think that was the ultimate event since combination of all my favorites. What I really appreciated that day was having the opportunity to roam around with our kids, since you can really see the smile on their faces, their eagerness to explore. It kind of reminds me back when I was a kid, and of course it made me appreciate more how life is so beautiful when you're just a kid enjoying, like, ignorance is bliss talaga. Thanks for that question. Oh, thanks, Jasmine. I'm shy, joke. So hi, Gemily. Good evening. What is your greatest achievement during the enhanced community quarantine, and what is its impact in your perspective of life and beauty? There's not much that I can say regarding achievements, but I think I do consider it a small win when I practice the piano and try to master Crash Landing on You's song for my brother, when I tried to do the pubs when we were trying to initiate this donation drive for our people, the one that I've been talking about earlier. And of course, trying to talk to people, right, just like right now. But I'm also hoping that you guys try to talk to me about how you're feeling, because I do understand that this is really a difficult time to be in, and the struggle to every day just get up, be productive, and also exercising. Yeah, I also consider that as a small win for myself, since it's really difficult to push yourself, especially being at home always. Yeah. Hi, Tita Rochelle. Hi, Lizelle. Long time no see. Hi, Borns na imbag nga rabii. Okay, hi, Peck. So, my experience as a Miss Millennial was really fulfilling in a way, since we were the first batch, so we didn't know what to expect. And during that year, I decided for myself to set my own kind of standard on how I'd like to represent La Union. So what I did was I tried to create my own pubs. I created bugtongs about the places in LU. I had the opportunity to go around La Union together with some fans to really get to know my province more, and I think that's what I'm carrying with me in Binibining Pilipinas, since I got to know my province more. I got to know the culture of each municipality, and some little trivia about the places, or what La Union is most unique for. And yeah, the whole experience was really worthwhile, fulfilling, and of course fun, because that's my first kind of national pageant in a way, national televised pageant, since it was the first, I think. Yeah. Next, how did you start? Okay, how did you start in pageantry? I started back in 2016 for our municipality, Miss Agoo 2016, and then it was followed up by Mutiati La Union, since I won Miss Agoo. Then afterwards, I had to compete in Miss Millennial Philippines, since I won Mutiati La Union. And after that, I had to take a long break. So yeah, and now I'm back for Binibining Pilipinas 2020. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Dave. So, my makeup artist during Miss Millennial. Actually, the studio did provide us makeup artists, so they kind of varied. But I do remember Mama Varda doing my makeup during, I think it was the launch, and also Mami Noims for our weekly appearances. So yeah. Next is hi Dave from Kaba. Hope you guys are so safe right now. Okay. So guys. Oh my gosh, people are messaging as well. I'm sorry. Can't see it. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Since we are now in the very strict enhanced community quarantine, are you in favor of warrantless arrest for those who unknowingly or those who are accidentally unaware that they are violently ah violating enhanced community quarantine protocol. Why? No, I think I'll never be in favor of warrantless arrests, especially if the person doesn't know. I think that there's a better way to address that by, um, reminding the person that what they're doing is wrong and giving off a warning instead, since, arrests are uncalled for at this moment. So people should be responsible, of course, in knowing what rules are stated already by the government. Watching from Wuhan, China. Okay. What have you learned about the COVID-19 pandemic, and how will you apply this learning to your time as Miss Philippines? During this COVID-19 pandemic, I think it compounded to my experience in Binibining, Pilipinas. During the whole duration of the activities, I was trying to build up my mental fortitude, and I think during this trying times right now, I'm sharing this experience with everyone. We're trying to be strong together, and should I be given the chance to be Miss Philippines, I think I'll be able to apply it also on the international stage by also showing how we Filipinos deal with crisis, which is to be, resilient and believe that there's hope after trying times. So yeah. Thank you. Next. Thanks, Tita Rochelle. You have gorgeous skin. Skincare, and what products are you using? I left, some tips. So I actually left my original skincare regimen in my condo back in Araneta. So I've been improvising by just using my Cetaphil. Also, since I have skin asthma, I'm using Physiogel, and just trying to balance it out since my skin really acts up, especially when it's really hot or the temperature changes a lot. Thank you, Life and Style Central. Okay. I think I saw a question earlier that I was able to skip. So guys, just share your questions with me, and I'll do my best to answer those. I'll be answering siguro 5 more before wrapping things up. I saw earlier. Okay, what would be your message to various elected officials in LGUs regarding COVID-19? Thank you, Sean, for that question. So first, I'd like to thank them for all their efforts in doing their duties best, since their constituents are, of course, their responsibility. And second, I'd also like to encourage them to try to find more solutions in encouraging people to stay at home. I think that, a lot of people are in panic. Maybe there are some things that we can do regarding it. And then third would be, just to give off the message of, kapit lang, matatapos rin po to. And I hope that you guys continue to do your work. Try to listen as well to your constituents if they have really, grave concerns. And we'll get through this together. So hashtag together we heal. Next, okay. Who else was asking? I think someone asked earlier. Okay, how do you think of Ate Sam? Ate Sam is really nice. She was able to initiate some videos on, how to deal with this pandemic, and I think it's really amazing of her to initiate that. Do you think it's still wise to hold beauty pageants and other public mass gatherings, given that even after the pandemic, we have to practice a new normal and still practice safety protocols? I believe that the okay, sorry. had to dighay, ganun, choke. Um, Given the situation right now with no vaccine or no other sorry, it's my lola. If there's no other, ways to prevent the spread of this disease, I think what's best is we first evaluate whether it's the right time to conduct these mass gatherings. But I think that, with the creativity of people and with technology nowadays, there may be ways that, to still let pageants go, like virtual pageants maybe, or just postponing and waiting for the time to that our health won't be compromised, since I think it's more important to value health right now. Okay, next. Oh, thanks, Kim. Okay, so if you guys don't have any more questions, okay. Okay, last 4 questions. Okay, 5, since bigla lang dumami lahat. Okay. Do you believe that the resiliency of the Filipino people is still reflected, especially with this pandemic that we are having right now? I think yes, in a way, since I've been seeing a lot of people going on TikTok trying to lift up spirits of people. Still, of course, there are a lot of donation drives everywhere that I've been seeing. So besides being resilient, people are actually having proper action to get us through this together. And third, I've been seeing also people who are trying to deal with their difficult emotions in such a healthy way, like trying to spend time with their families, going through Zoom. And those people are Filipino people, and I think not just Filipino people, but more of what I've seen, people are us Filipinos. I think this is parang the important characteristic that we have right now that is reflected in how we're also dealing. But I do hope that the number of people who are violating the rules set by our government would decrease, because pasaway pa rin tayo ng onte. So yeah. What will you not do once the enhanced community quarantine is lifted? Well, first would be, I would avoid I think I'll avoid getting sick. I'll just try to take care of my body more, since I know that our frontliners are really pressed on with a lot of people. Just the other day, I had someone tell me a story about them being parang tinanggihan sila ng hospitals because full capacity na. And I do understand na yung frontliners natin who are in the hospitals, sobrang I can feel na sobrang stressed out na sila. So I think the best thing that I can do after this would be to take good care of my health. So Dave, what can you say about your supporters like us? I would like to thank you guys for sticking with me up till now, and of course, hopefully when I compete again. And all I can say is really thank you. I'm really grateful. No words can really explain how thankful I am, since I do understand I'm drawing strength from you guys. So I hope that you continue to watch me during this whole journey. And yeah, I hope to also meet you guys someday so that I can thank you personally. Thank you. Nag-uusap po ba kayo ni Mami Paul? Yes, of course. Nag-uusap kami ni Mami Paul. I think the last was when I went home for LU, since we had to make a promotional video about our hometowns. So I was able to get her as my makeup artist. If time is gold, what is silver? Hmm. I guess old age joke. Kasi silver na yung hair ng lola ko joke. Okay. Last question. Final message for the people. So everyone, I hope that you guys, stay safe. We have a few days left for the extension of our enhanced community quarantine, and though things may still be, uncertain whether we extend it or not, I think what's important right now is that we take good care of our health, not just physical health, but of course mental and emotional health. Since I do understand that there's a lot of panic and anxiety that's being caused by this pandemic, not just the pandemic itself. So just stay at home. If you need someone to talk to, I can leave links on my social media pages, which I will share right now. So it's at Hey Makawina for IG. That's HEYMACAWINA. Then of course I have Twitter. It's Hey Macarina. And then yeah, I have a page in Facebook which is Miss Millennial La Union. Now I know it's still the previous but my previous position as Miss Millennial La Union, but I've been having a hard time in changing the name, but I don't know with Facebook. But if you guys can just go to that page and try to leave a message or converse when we post something, that would be great. So thank you so much, guys. I hope that you guys kind of learned something new tonight. I've been able to answer your questions, and I hope to see you soon. So I also pray for your safety. And of course, before I end, I'd also like to give a shout out for our frontliners out there. So thank you so much for the work that you put in. I know that we're all at home trying our best, but you guys are out there, doing all the rest. Wow, very rhyming words pa talaga. So thank you. Stay safe, Paolo, and keep safe, Tita Rochelle. Thank you so much and have a good night. Thank you.